Yes, sir, we promised you a great main event here tonight.
Nick Andres, a China.
WrestleMania! Hulkamania is running wild.
My God, what a run! It's not a world is watching.
At the real deal now. Gonna kick this sorry ass out on the street. You used to think you own the street. We'll pack your bags and your ass is dead meat.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lowdown Show, episode 104, right here on No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, your Canadian wrestling podcast that talks about the WWE and No Holds Barred on anything we say, pun intended. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at No Holds Barred WP. You can also follow myself at Real Kyle Masters, my two co-hosts at Michael Chow TV and at Heel Turn 21 as well. If you want to listen to us on go, you can check us out on iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating and a review. Everything would help on iTunes, guys. You can also listen to us on Stitcher Radio and Spreaker. Spreaker is a glorious podcast app. When we are live on there, you can chat with us live on the air. Listen to all previous episodes of the podcast, so go check that out and download it for free on all Android and Apple devices. You can also check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/NHBWR. So go hit that subscribe button, that bell icon for all upload updates. I'm your host, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and every week right here in the Lowdown Show, I am joined by my two co-hosts. Number one, he is the co-host that runs the West Coast, Hollywood Michael Chow, and the main event Maharaja, Brian at Heel Turn 21. What is going on, guys? I feel like we've done this about 800 times tonight. We've been having some serious technical difficulties. One, it almost seems like we were talking about is when we're talking about Brock Lesnar. One, we were live, and as soon as we got to the Brock Lesnar part of this new news segment we're supposed to do, it cut us off. Now we tried doing it offline, and as soon as we got to the Brock Lesnar part, it stopped recording. So, as of right now, and I'm not going to say his name anymore just in case it decides to cut us off again, we're not going to talk about said individual. We might at the end of the show, and we have time for the news part. So this is the Lowdown Show. If you're new to this show, it's where we talk about NXT and the WWE and every single week. But what's going on to my two co-hosts? I'll let them chime in here. What is going on, guys?
Again, Vince, no, Mr. McMahon, Cena is the greatest.
Oh, man.
Roman Reigns is even better. And bring back Hulk Hogan. Mr. McMahon, thank you.
Bring back Hulk Hogan. I don't know if I don't think you should be saying that. It looks like we're still going. So I think we've WWE's forgotten about that. And that happened years and years ago when Hulk Hogan was in a dark place. I'm sure they can forgive him for that. Anyways, So we're restructuring the show. We're going to be doing the list of 10 is making its re-debut today, and that's what we're going to start off with tonight. I know Michael Chow's got some hot topics around that. Then we're going to get into the WWE corner with our very own Brian. He's going to go over some main points with the WWE main roster this week, and if it was good for once, I'm going to say no. But anyways, we'll then finish off with the NXT review. And if we have time at the end of the show, we are going to re-debut also WWE headlines. It's going to be very quicker than we are used to. If you're used to the show with the WWE headlines, it'll be just some quick points. We'll give our first take on some news headlines, and that's how we're going to end off the show. So without further ado, let's get into that list of 10. And I know Michael Chow, and I don't have the theme song. I apologize. It will make its debut next week again. I got to go find it. I have no idea where it went because when I re-downloaded Spreaker the other day, it got rid of all my songs on my set list here. So I have literally no idea where I put that list of 10 theme. It was such a good theme song, too. So I'm going to have to go look for it again or maybe redo it or remake it. But Michael Chow, I know you've got some takes on the list of 10 this week. What grinded your gears? We'll start with that. What was your list moment this week?
First, I just want to say that it's okay you did not have the theme song of the list of 10. Let's face it, both guys are kind of MIA, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, one is an Intercontinental Champion for a different brand.
Ah.
So we'll see.
All
Anyways,
right,
Michael
so
Chow, what
the
grinded
list
your
of-
gears this week? What was
What
the list?
grinds my gears? Okay, so what grinds my gears, and I had to watch my words carefully because this guy has been messing with this podcast all night long. I'm going to use code words, okay? So my list actually involves Rock Besner. So Rock Besner. So what grinds my gears is honestly that they announced a match for Extreme Rules that doesn't involve this person, okay? They said it was going to be a number one contendership, water, rinse, repeat. Why not? Exactly from last year, exactly at this pay-per-view. It was going to be a multi-man match to crown the number one contender to take on Rock Fesner at SummerSlam. And then all of a sudden, they say that it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Kurt Angle came out here, and I won't spoil too much because, Brian's going to talk about it later during his main roster review. But pretty much the general manager says that this guy, this Universal Champion, is not committing to his events. Therefore, he has no choice but to cancel it. But what I don't get is the match at Extreme Rules to crown the number one contender. It's not to face this guy, this champion. So why would you cancel that match? And then I'm hearing all this stuff. Take it with a grain of salt because Brian Alvarez from the
Credible Source.
Credible Source, freaking Rumor Mania. He says the reason why the match is not happening. A lot of people think it's, Lesnar. He's an a-hole. He's just not committing to SummerSlam. But then this guy, Brian Alvarez, he says the reason why it's not happening is because, quite simply, Vince McMahon changed his mind. He didn't want to do the match. So this is what grinds my gears. Pretty much the WWE jumping the gun, making matches, and then just not having it. We've seen it before. Andre Cien almost versus Sin Cara, and then all of a sudden they call off the match because Sin Cara was... I have not seen any confirmed reports. They said he was injured. I don't believe them. Someone, I think, even told me on Twitter that they saw Sin Cara perform at a live event literally right when they announced it. So I can't take anything the WWE says seriously. They said Alexa Bliss had injured her shoulder at Backlash, and all of a sudden she was back within a week for a Money in the Bank qualifying, and they never brought up her shoulder injury again. So that's what grinds my gears. WWE jumping the gun with storylines and then giving us a pathetic, scrapping of the match.
And Bork Laser is holding on to this main championship that's supposed to be your center point, and WWE made such a big deal about making this the big title that's even over its world championship. Yet this guy hasn't been on TV since WrestleMania. It's a joke. It's a joke. He's probably not even gonna be at SummerSlam. What? This is ridiculous.
The sad part was this entire year was built around Brock Lesnar holding around that Universal title so Roman Reigns could finally beat him for that title. Hey, you know what? A lot of people don't like Roman Reigns. That's fine. Me, I don't hate him. I don't love him. But knowing that he was finally going to get that belt, this guy shows up every single week. This was storyline. Roman Reigns says this guy's not showing up, calling him a part-timer. And it looks like they're recycling that storyline right now. This was a perfect time for him to capture the belt and get some respect from the fans. But WWE totally botched it. Now we hate Brock Lesnar even more. I don't know whether this is where they're going. Is it because of CM Punk? Vince, do you hate him that bad? But that's what grinds my gears. I'm talking about way too much. About Locke Tesner. So
Right.
Yeah.
So
should I go on my
Brian, don't say anything about it. I know you want to chime in here and try to defend his ass. You're not.
Well, actually, what I want to do since Raw was horrible is I guess I can sprinkle in the review since we're already touching on this part. But before I do that, Mr. McMahon, I know you're listening. The views and statements of these two don't reflect anything on my end.
Oh my god! Oh, again, we forgot. Yeah, we forgot. To Pork Laser.
You know what? You just made
That's
the
right.
list.
You just made the list. Got add him to the list first. But go on, Brian. Go on for your defense of Paul Heyman's advocate.
Let's hear the disclosure.
I am the main event advocate. Thank you very much.
Oh my god.
But I get.
Oh, I think Vince McMahon's trying to cut your mic off. You're kissing too much ass.
Yeah. This whole Raw and they're pulling out of the match. Like, am I? Can you hear me?
Nah, you're kind of glitching out.
Yeah, I told you, Vince McMahon is.
Oh man, Kyle, you may have to edit this part.
We've been fine the whole time.
I can edit this part. Brian, go ahead.
All right, am I back?
You're back.
All right, cool. Sorry about that. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Michael. The whole Lesnar pulling out thing is just dumb. This whole opening segment of Raw just could have been, hey, we're doing this fight. You know, Brock isn't committing to SummerSlam. They could even say, you know what, we don't even know if Brock's coming back, but you two are gonna fight, just so you know, just in case. They can go two routes with this. You guys are gonna fight. Whoever wins this fights whoever is the next champion, or if we decide to strip Lesnar, the winner of this match is the new champion. It's so easy, but they're trying to build this heat on Lesnar to get Reigns over. It's just not gonna work. We know Reigns is Vince's boy. Mm-hmm. We know Lesnar could give a crap about the WWE, and a lot of people, as much as Michael gets upset because he's getting worked, a lot of people know that Lesnar doesn't care. This is all business to him. You know, he doesn't really care about wrestling. He wants to make his money. So he's gonna show up at SummerSlam if they tell him to show up at SummerSlam. So all I'm saying is this whole we're pulling Lesnar out. He doesn't want to show up. It's obviously a work, and this whole just opening segment didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense at all.
I would have to say, I'm more upset with the fact they made a match and then decided to cancel it. If Brock doesn't want to show up and they want to make that storyline, that's fine. But the fact they officially made a match and then they said, you know what, it's not going to happen because we're going to use this as part of a storyline to say Brock Lesnar's not here. And hey, it's working. It's working to me.
They're still acting like this match is going to happen because they start off by announcing the match isn't going to happen. And they followed up with Reigns and Lashley still getting heat on each other. It's like, if you're going to do that, separate them.
Okay. I kind of see where you're going with that. Yeah.
I mean, unless you're gonna have Reigns and Lashley and the Revival in a tag team tournament.
No.
And tag team champions, Reigns and Lashley. Here we go.
Oh, anyways,
we need a new Shield member.
I think the 10 moment of the week. I think if you guys seen it, if you didn't, Brian or Michael Chow, please go rewatch it. But the whole the 10 moment is the complete 2-day UK tournament they did with NXT. That whole 2-day thing they put on the network. That was so much fun to watch and so well done. So I'm go ahead and giving the 10 moment this week to the WWE and that UK 2-day takeover, whatever you want to call it. That was really well done. We had a title change. We had Mustache Mountain beating Undisputed Era for the titles. I mean, it was such a good event, and it just goes to show you how much better wrestling product there is out there besides the main roster. I can't watch this shit on the main roster. We don't get it. We get more bullshit on the main roster. I'm sorry, bro. We get more bull crap on the main roster than actual wrestling. That's why I love NXT. That's why we love reviewing NXT. And then when they go do this UK things, all they do, they have storylines, they have characters, but they do what they do best, and that is stick to wrestling. What they want and do the best, and that is wrestling. And the product was just amazing. So I gave the 10 moment this week to that whole event. I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but if you haven't, go watch it.
To be fair, NXT may have these great events, but they'll never have the greatest Royal Rumble. A third Royal Rumble. 3 Royal Rumbles in 1 year.
Yeah,
sorry.
we're gonna have a third one at the Super Show in Australia.
Jesus.
The greatest super show, mega ultra show.
Battle Royale Rumble.
Yeah.
This time they're going to have 1,000 people in this Royal Rumble. 1,000.
So excited for that. Yep, crickets for that.
I actually have a 10 moment. Can I say one real fast?
Yeah, you can.
Perfect. So I got a 10 moment. My 10 moment would have to be, and I'm finally glad I hope it's actually, there's going to be a payoff, but Bayley finally just beating the heck out of Sasha Banks this week. So they kind of been teasing it. I don't know if we were ever going to finally get this feud or this match, but Bayley just freaking going crazy on Sasha Banks. We don't know for sure if she's gone heel, but she, that moment where she's just wailing on her and basically saying that, it just wasn't
Right.
just this week or this year. It's everything. And, she's sick of it. And, it's a good refresh for Bayley's character. And, so my 10 moment's going to be for Bayley finally may or may not go in heel, but finally this feud is actually jumping the gun. Well, not jumping the gun, but I just wish it was for the WWE Women's Championship.
It should be. It should be, to be honest.
She straight out told Sasha, "You ain't shit." If that doesn't make you a heel, I don't know what
great.
does, Michael.
No,
I
but
mean,
now
the only
they did the whole doctor therapy thing, which kind of really pissed me off.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! It better not be the same counselor that canceled Daniel Bryan and Cade.
If
If it is, I'm
it's
gonna
going to be.
lose
You
it.
know it is. It's a
Oh,
WWE. I have no faith in whatever they do. I know it's going to be. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyways, let's get into the next part of the show, guys. And that's right. The sound of the bell means it's the WWE corner with our very own main event Maharaja Brian. Brian, what's going down on the glorious main roster this week? It was so good. Oh man, I was so excited.
That opening, the announcements,
I'll tell you what's going
the
down.
returns.
Oh no! Oh, I
know
can't
what's-
believe I didn't think Corporate Cappy sent me a text. I'm like, no, you're lying. That's not happening. I opened Twitter up. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. They did it again. They reached into that cookie jar.
How many
Face.
times have they done the Kane cookie jar? Like it just Kane Big Show.
I thought he
Kane-
was
like,
trying to get his mayor shit together. Why is he here?
Oh, apparently it's not going that good.
He's wearing a mask, so it's not really Glenn Jacobs. Glenn Jacobs is running for mayor, not Kane.
Oh man,
That's-
my mistake.
Keep kayfabe alive, buddy. Keep kayfabe alive.
Oh man.
But anyway, you asked what's going down, and the ratings, and my self-respect for watching.
Seriously, I'm not
the 500
joking.
wrestling.
Raw is still coasting at a 2.5, man. It was at a almost 3.5. I'd say before WrestleMania. It's literally just going downhill. I wonder why.
I mean, does anyone remember the 8.0 days?
Yeah, well,
Jesus Christ.
Creative wasn't on autopilot. They'd be up there.
We need Vince Russo. I said it first. I said it. Vince Russo. So
You know what? Why not? It can't get any
At this
worse.
point,
Bring
I
in
mean-
Vince Russo.
just let's be real, guys. Why not? Like, what could it hurt? You're not gonna hurt the ratings. You're not gonna. Why not?
I would
everything-
actually.
Sasha,
Sorry, Frank, go ahead.
Sasha Banks weave on a pole match, whatever you want to do. Like,
No, I wouldn't watch
Whatever-
the main roster. I wouldn't.
you don't anyway.
I know. I wouldn't. Then I wouldn't start. I fall in love with NXT way too much to even give the main roster a chance anymore. It's that bad.
Alrighty, well, speaking of NXT, your boys, The Revival, again, made me change the channel when I was watching Raw. Thank you very much. We had a beautiful Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley segment opening Raw. We kind of touched on it a little bit, but Kurt Angle comes out, says, hey, Lesnar pulled out of the match. We're no longer having a number one contender match because the champion doesn't want to have a number one contender. So, hey, he's running the show now. The Revival comes out, and I literally, I'm not joking, as soon as the Revival's music hit, I changed the channel. I was like, I can't do this. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, I honestly think
Who really cares?
I honestly think the best part of the whole thing was that Roman Reigns actually got pinned.
Yes, that's the only thing that was like, oh, righty.
I was actually very shocked that they let him, and then they had the Revival of all teams. That's what was shocking to me.
Yeah, I caught the last minute of the match, and it's funny if you're watching live, they show the replay, and as soon as Roman's about to get pinned, they cut away from the replay. They don't even show Roman get pinned again.
Who got pinned? Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Who got
Yeah.
pinned? Was it Bobby? Bobby got pinned?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So then then you hear Lashley tell Roman, "From now on, you let me finish the matches," and I'm like, wait. Are these guys gonna keep tagging together? Because if so, I'm out. I'm out. You know why? I don't even know. Michael.
Make a number one contendership match. It's going to be Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns versus the B team.
Hey,
To face the Raw Championship.
you guys talk crap, but the B team is probably the best part of the show.
He's terrible.
The B team. Okay, we'll get
How
to
is
that.
it?
I guess
How is it the best part of the show?
because it's a dog turd compared to like a mountain of dog turds.
What?
Raw, honestly, guys, Raw was really, really, really bad. We had Matt Hardy versus Curtis Axel next. Speaking of the B team, in a weird match, it was like a 2-3 minute match. You have Matt Hardy, who goes for a superplex, but it kind of looks like he botched it. Axel literally lands on top of him, covers him, gets the 3 count.
Ooh,
Really,
Axelmania is running wild again?
really weird. And then
Yes.
Matt and Bray congratulate them in the ring on their win. I don't get it. Who's the face? Who's the heels? I don't really know. I don't care.
Sounds
Then we
exciting to
have
me.
Then we have Sasha Banks complaining to Kurt Angle about something in the background. Nobody really cares. Then we have the return of the Authors of Pain. It seems like
Wait,
they found their way. They followed the breadcrumbs that Sanity.
exist?
Yeah, Sanity left them breadcrumbs. You know, hey, we finally made our way to SmackDown. Here's your way to Raw. They come out to destroy some jobbers, of course. And you guys thought Lashley and Reigns versus a Revival was bad. We're setting up Authors of Pain versus Titus Worldwide. Yeah. Best for
I have
this?
no faith. I've said it like a million times already. I'm
Please.
sounding like a
Best part
broken record. I have no
Best
faith
part of this.
whatsoever.
Please tell me the best part is Titus came out, slipped, and fell under the ring again.
No, that would have been great. But
Ah.
the Authors of Pain back off of Titus Worldwide. The Authors of Pain
Anyways,
back off. Yeah.
tired of that.
When's the last? Yeah. So then we have Kurt Angle, Baron Corbin backstage, setting up a match between Braun Strowman. It's Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor and Baron Corbin.
Oh, Constable
So-
Baron Corbin.
Constable Baron Corbin. And I don't know if you caught this, Michael, but last week Braun Strowman said, hey, you don't pick on my little buddy Finn Balor. And this week he says he wants to fight Finn Balor. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, I mean, word has it they shared the same rent-a-car to the arena, so now they want to be friends, right? Right?
It's like
I
you
think you'll
guys-
get into that later on, Brian, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like the WWE. Do they not watch their own show? This was last week that they were best friends, and now they're fighting each other. Speaking of, we have Alexa Bliss and Mickie James best friends again for some reason.
Oh, yeah, right. Because we suddenly have to remember that they're best friends after breaking up 800 times.
Exactly, and so we have Natalya versus Alexa Bliss. Natalya comes out and says, hey, you have Mickie James in your corner. I didn't come alone. Sure enough, Natalya's new best friend, Nia Jax, comes to the ring with her. Nia Jax and Natalya were just destroying each other 2 weeks ago. And now they're best friends.
Right.
With both of their mutual best friend Ronda Rousey out, they had to come together, for the greater good against the big threat of a 5 feet and a 50-year-old lady. So, just kidding. I love both Mickie James and Alexa. by the way.
Natalia,
Mickie James,
Natalya-
hot Jang. John Cena, what
Natalya
happened?
was literally training Ronda Rousey on screen on how to beat up Nia Jax, and Nia is in her corner this week. Why? So to top it off, we get Natalya beating Alexa Bliss with a sharpshooter. So your champion taps out to Natalya.
Why not?
Why not?
Are you kidding me? Why didn't even see that? I'm literally reacting to this for the first time. Like, what?
Yeah.
My
So then-
God.
Don't have her tag team partner Mickey James tap out. No, have the champion tap out.
Yeah,
makes
I mean,
sense.
tap out the champion to Natalia. She just got destroyed. I don't. You know what? Okay. So we get to the best part of the show. Jinder Mahal and Samir Singh
Oh
backstage.
no! Boo!
the middle photo shoot, and this crazy psychotic group of girls, the Riot Squad, comes up and smashes their camera.
Oh,
They
Random.
are crazy. They are just so. These girls are out of control. The best part of this is Jinder and Sunil stay peaceful as the Riot Squad just walks away. Jinder
Gosh.
Jinder saying some kind of I don't know what he's saying, some kind of USA type of deal. So I'm calling it right now. Jinder Mahal babyface turn takes the strap
please,
off.
no.
Takes the
gosh.
strap off of Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Oh,
Calling it
yeah.
right now.
Right.
Is he seriously going back to his old gimmick?
I
That
think
Namaste shit?
I think they're
I
gonna
hope
go
not.
with the babyface Jinder.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know what's worse, that or a smiling Bobby Roode.
Oh, the glorious Bobby Roode. So then we have what we touched on a little bit: Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon versus the Riot Squad. The only thing to talk about here was the Bayley turn. I'm saying 100% Bayley heel turn next week. To confirm it, what I'm saying is
It needs
Bayley
a
comes out.
title.
Bayley comes out. The Bayley buddies come up, and Bayley just stabs them or rips them apart and
Just
throws them into the crowd on some kid's face or
burns
something
them,
like that.
sets them on fire.
Just burns them down, burn it down. Seth Rollins comes out, they have a party. But it was kind of weird too because the announcers. I mean, usually when you get a heel turn, what are the announcers doing? Oh my God, I can't believe so and so is doing this, etc., etc. The whole time, Graves and Core are like, this is the Bayley we wanted, and it's about time.
Yeah, what?
To shit out Sasha. It's like, wait, what?
There's an acknowledging that they wanted less cringe Bailey and more fierce Bailey, I guess. I don't know.
Like as a fan, I was just like, well, they're pretty much just shitting what Bailey's been doing the last 2 years. And, oh, she used to suck before, but hey, she's gonna be good now, guys. You watch.
Right.
They're not going to do it, but I remember back in the day when it was a Ruthless Aggression era, they used to have a John Cena merch that used to say F rules. Like they would put out the FU and put F rules. It'd be so cool. Yeah, it'd be so cool that instead of hug life, it was fuck life. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying, nice. Dude, that's merch right there. They're not going to do it, but you know.
Fuck life instead of Bailey buddies, the fuck buddies, and just go balls out. Have her come out in like all black, do the
Right.
the sable handprints on her boobs, whatever. Do it. Just go balls out.
She's got to get rid of the hair tie. That's like, oh my gosh, now she's freaking serious. She got rid of the side hair tie. Things are about to get real.
Yeah, shave her head, give her the Ruby Riot look, do all that. So then we have a Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor and Baron Corbin, which actually wasn't that bad of a match. These guys are pretty good. You guys are not going to agree with me on this one, but I like this Baron Corbin.
First of all, it's Constable Corbin.
Constable.
I'm
You got to get it
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry.
Constable Corbin.
Constable Corbin is.
He
feels
didn't spend
more
100
comfortable.
hours in constable school just to be called Baron Corbin.
My deepest apology. Vince, again, Mr. McMahon. Push Baron Corbin to the moon. Roman Reigns forever. Do what you got to do, Mr. McMahon. I'm sorry. But yeah, Corbin, I like this look. He seems a lot more comfortable in this role. Michael, I don't know. I'm sure you're gonna disagree with that one, but it's at least fresh-ish.
No, honestly, I mean, I my only con about Constable Corbin going into his new role is I thought he'd be wrestling less, but he's actually still wrestling. So I like it. It's combining the best of both worlds. So
Yeah,
he's still
it's all right.
Constable. He's still wrestling. One thing I don't get is like he's like wrestling like Corporate Kane, like
Yeah.
in a suit. So I'm like, Don't you have your ring attire? Seems like you're wrestling more.
Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, but it's going for the whole schmuck. I'm a businessman now. Like, look,
But they've done it before.
They've done everything before. What can you do?
Not the same.
It's the same.
It just shows you how
different.
terrible the creative are. They just go into a circle.
All right. Well, the only highlight of this match is Braun goes outside for his shoulder tackles on Baylor and Corbin on the floor. Braun comes in, gets tagged in, and Braun tells Owens, "Hey, you go do the shoulder tackles." So Owens goes out, does the shoulder tackle. I believe he hits Baylor with it first. So he's super excited. Yay, I'm doing the shoulder tackles. Goes to do the shoulder tackle on Corbin, and Corbin just clotheslines the hell out of him. It was hilarious. I guess you had to see it.
Right. Anyways, Blue Brand. What's going on with the Blue Brand this week?
The Blue Brand. Wait, you don't want to talk about Roman just injecting himself into another storyline? That made no sense.
Okay.
So, just to make a long story short, we got Rollins versus Ziggler for the title. Of course, no finish. Ziggler and McIntyre start beating on Rollins, and guess who comes out for the save?
Dean Ambrose.
Not Dean Ambrose.
His old best friend, Jason Jordan.
Linda McMahon.
Not Linda McMahon. Not Jinder Mahal.
Nicholas.
Not The Rock.
Former tag team champion Nicholas.
No.
The Hurricane.
You know what? The Hurricane, he's probably better than 90% of the roster right now, but the big dog Roman Reigns, for who knows why, comes out and saves Seth Rollins. So, is this kind of like Vince's backup storyline? He literally opened the show still beefing with Lashley, so you're thinking, okay, maybe they're going to go back and forth. But they closed the show with him helping Rollins. Is he going to have beef with Ziggler and Drew now? I really don't think they know what's happening next week.
The one thing I don't like about this is there was seriously no setup at all. Like, if Roman had ran into Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, during the show, okay, this makes sense. But Roman Reigns comes out here for no reason. Like, there was literally no setup for this. I don't understand.
That's my biggest thing. Is it was absolutely out of nowhere. Like, it just, Drew and Ziggler could have came out on the ramp and literally said a little 5-second promo. There's two of us and one of you. That easy, I don't get it. I don't get it.
For the Intercontinental title, what is this? The Intercontinental Tag Team Championship? What is this?
It was a great match.
I was going to say, it is time to move on to Blue Brand. I'm sick and tired of talking about Raw so far.
So, the Blue Brand, the $1 billion brand, to get it right, wasn't any better. Great matches, but it was just for a lack of better terms, a weird show. It just, to me, it didn't flow. Seemed like a house show, but we have The Miz starting off with Miz TV with the Bludgeon Brothers, which The Miz is afraid of, but he invites them onto his show. Makes no sense. Daniel Bryan comes out and says he has issues with the Bludgeon Brothers attacking him and isn't afraid of them. So he sets up an open challenge type of deal, and Luke Harper accepts the match.
What?
So we're gonna have Luke Harper versus Daniel Bryan in the main event. Great. So after that, we have the New Day hanging out in the back making milkshakes out of pancakes because they're fighting Xavier Woods versus Rusev next. And like I said, Woods is going to be the breakout star of this group. Great match versus Rusev. Like I said, this show sucked, but the matches were good. Michael, did you get to see this match?
I I saw the ending of this match, but if I could say one thing about SmackDown, so it looks like they've been making a lot of matches up based on social media. So a lot of times you'll see wrestlers argue on Twitter, and then Paige will be like, "Oh, well, these two are arguing on Twitter. They're gonna have a match," and they've done it several times. I think Ty Dillinger had an argument with Nakamura on Twitter, and it was literally made a match.
It's now
I'm
they're
like,
doing it on purpose. Now it's just like
Yeah,
exactly. Can you not set
they're
up
trying to-
storylines on the show? Do you need like
Yeah.
Twitter? Are you trying to get more Twitter followers? I'm like, what is this?
that,
And
they're
that-
trying to make it seem more like that you have to be invested in it, and it's not working. I think people see through the bullshit.
They're trying to make SmackDown the cool show, the show for
It's not
the
working.
smarks, and it's just it shows that you can have these 5-star matches or whatnot, but just when you're throwing them together, it just doesn't make sense, and the show doesn't flow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, great, 5-star match, but why do I care? It's kind of like watching New Japan. There's really no storylines, but great matches. So the best part of this, I mean, the match was great, but before the match, of course, English comes out, does his Rusev Day song. But during that whole thing, from the ring, the New Day is throwing pancakes at Aiden English, and all you see is Aiden English trying to do his thing and just pancakes coming into frame, which I thought was hilarious. But hey, that's just me. I guess I'm 12 years old. And then we have another Jeff Hardy, half Brother Nero, half Enigma type character going on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's reminding me a lot of when we used to do that in TNA. So
Yeah,
I think
it's
they're
supposed to be the
incorporating
whole-
into
Yeah, this extreme Enigma thing, but they're doing some of the broken stuff at the same time. So it's kind of weird. It's like, do one or the other, commit to it. But then again, we saw what they did with Matt. So, hey. And this is, I think, when they announced that Shinsuke is going to be out because of injury. And I guess we can get into it now. Shinsuke Nakamura
Oh God.
lost his greatest match to a police dog.
I didn't hear
Police,
anything about this. So what
police
happened?
Roman Reigns bit him.
The big dog, the real big dog backstage. At least he didn't go for Nakamura's nuts,
So who?
So the story is they were in, I believe it was Bakersfield, somewhere up Northern California, Central California, for a house show, and they do their normal security sweeps. It wasn't a drug sniffing dog. It was some kind of explosives and weapons dog, and all they've said was that the dog accidentally bit Nakamura.
Accidentally bit
And it's
him.
like, how do you accidentally get bitten by a dog? Like, and it's not like it's a stray dog or
This is like where who's
this is a
confirming
cop.
this?
And it's actually from the Bakersfield Police Department. That's all they've
Oh.
released, is that it was an accidental bite on a WWE employee. They didn't even say Nakamura, but it's pretty set in stone that it was Nakamura. He was off the show, and I believe he was on crutches at a house show in Japan this week. So yeah, the big news: Nakamura gets bitten by a dog. Great. So, SummerSlam, I'm calling it now: Nakamura versus the police dog.
Oh God.
It'll still be better than the AJ
The-
matches. So hey,
In a first blood match.
yeah, I want to see him hit the dog in the nuts with an uppercut. That'll be
Oh
great.
my God.
So then we go from that greatness to Naomi and Lana are arguing about their dance off and who won. That dance off was a month ago. A month ago.
And they're still. No, I can't. I have nothing to say anymore. It's
And
literally.
to top it off, the cast of Glow walks in, and they tell them, "Hey, you guys should."
course, more politically driven bullshit.
Women's
Gotta
Revolution.
stay mainstream.
Women's
Oh,
Revolution.
I only have one question real fast, Brian. Was Karma at least there?
No karma.
What? This is stupid. You get the cast of Glow, but Karma, who's on the show, you don't bring by.
And they bury themselves because the main actress on Glow is supposed to be like a Russian character, and she tells Lana like, "Oh yeah, me and you are Russian, blah blah blah," with the Russian accent, and Lana full blown English goes, "Oh yeah, we are," and it's like, wait, Lana, you just lost the accent. An actress came in and is like, hey, we're supposed to be Russians, and you're answering in just perfect English. Like, do they not care?
Right. I
The-
don't
the-
know.
I don't even. This girl just told you, hey, we're Russian characters, and Lana goes, oh yeah, we are.
No faith. Nope. I have none. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to give credit where credit's due. Well, because they didn't even do this, but it would have actually been a cool spot if there was actually a match, but Karma was actually involved. Then that would have been kind of good. Like Karma versus Naomi or Karma versus Lana. That would have been good. People would have been able to see Karma back in the ring. Brock Lesnar has these one-time appearance deals and stuff. You could have let Karma promote the show she's on and also get a match. But
I'm going to sadly disagree with that.
Really?
I'm just going to say it. I'm going to put that out there right now. They don't need to include Glow. They're just trying to get more mainstream attention, but more mainstream attention that doesn't work.
Yeah, but I get what Michael's saying. I mean, no, nobody wants to see Glow on WWE, but if they're going to be there, I mean, later on they had Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville. Why not have Sonya Deville and Mandy start beating up on Becky Lynch, and out comes Karma? You know? Hey, makes the save, Glow's on next week, tune in.
And if you guys are watching Sonya Deville's entrance and you have problems seeing really flashy blinking lights and you're going to have fucking epilepsy attack, please do not watch her.
If you're prone to seizures, please turn away during
My God, when she gets into the ring, man, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
I like it. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. But anyway,
I used to think it was cool until Ronda Rousey made her look like a fool on Monday Night Raw. Now I can't actually take Sonya Deville seriously anymore. But yeah. Anyway, carry on, Brian.
Anywho, so we have Jeff Hardy versus Eric Young of Sanity. This match ends in a DQ because the Usos come out of the crowd and start brawling with Sanity. So, of course, in the classic WWE, we have the Usos and Jeff Hardy versus Sanity. And to make things better, your debuting team that you've been hyping, who got lost somewhere in the country on the bus for a month, finally make it to SmackDown, and they get pinned clean.
What?
And lose to the Usos and Jeff Hardy.
Right.
Out of curiosity, who was actually the guy who took the pin?
I believe it was Wolf after he gets hit with a Swanton bomb.
Jeez. Yeah. Oh, why not?
I'm scared for anyone from NXT getting the call up. I'm so scared.
You built these guys up for a month. They finally make it, and they get pinned clean. These guys shouldn't be having a match. If you want to build these guys as crazy, Sanity, blah, 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 these guys shouldn't have a match for a month. They should be coming out. The bell should never ring. They should be destroying people. They're so crazy. We can't contain them. Blah, 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 blah. It's going to take a cage match at Extreme Rules because we can finally put these guys in containment. I mean, how hard is that? No, let's Swanton Bomb 1, 2, 3.
I have nothing to say.
Michael, help me out here, please.
I mean, I don't know what to say. Bring the freaking dog out. Let him bite everyone on SmackDown Live. I don't care anymore. This show's... Jesus, what the...
show sucks. I'm going to say it. This show sucks.
It only gets worse because I know what happened at the end, but the end of the show.
What happens at the end.
Brian, carry on. Man, this is going downhill. I didn't know that. I didn't know Sanity got pinned. Jeez, what the hell?
Yeah, okay. Clean.
Andre Cien Almas, see you later. Sin Cara's pinning you, bro.
Yep. I have no fear for him either. He's supposed to be like, he goes from this top guy NXT to not appear on TV and feuding with a guy who's no one actually knows if he's injured or not.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if I skipped it, but they had a little backstage pre-tape thing with Cien Almas where Zelina says SmackDown has no challengers for Almas. Everyone should stay out of their way.
No, they're there. They just won't put him in a feud with him.
And I'm like, well, weren't you supposed to be feuding with Sin Cara? Like, oh no, and I think she makes a statement that they took him out of commission. When? Because I
He
think
should
I
have been
missed
going
that.
for the main championship against AJ Styles from the get-go.
This was your NXT champion, the biggest.
Yeah, he should have
thing
came in
out there.
and challenged AJ Styles. They should have went with a storyline right out of the bat. But no, they've ruined him like they've ruined all the NXT call-ups. I have no faith. I'm scared for anyone that gets called up now. I hope everyone in NXT right now just stays in NXT.
Yeah. So next we got Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville. Who cares? Winner Becky Lynch. So then we have. Oh no! Next was the Zelina Vega promo. We got to that. After that, we have James Ellsworth. So we don't have Samoa Joe on the show. We don't have Cien Almas on the show. No AJ Styles. Nakamura got his wiener bit off by a dog. So we have James Ellsworth on SmackDown. Talking
I've seen
smack.
this, unfortunately.
Yeah, so, long story short, James Ellsworth, Paige comes out, cuts him off, sets up a match between James Ellsworth and Asuka next
Which
week.
I don't think is going to happen.
Which, as has been proven today, Mr. McMahon, again, you're the greatest. Lesnar forever.
Jeez.
It only proves they're listening. One of the questions last week was, is WWE ever having an intergender match? And what do they book for next week? An intergender match.
It's not
They're
going
listening.
to happen. I'm telling you right now, the match is not going to go down.
It's gonna happen.
To be
No,
fair, if they let James Ellsworth versus Becky Lynch go, this should be no problem for them.
Brian, I'm telling you right now that what's going to happen next week, Ellsworth is going to show up to the arena in like a neck brace and a bunch of other stuff. Maybe he'll use the excuse, I got bit by the same dog Nakamura got bit by, and he'll go into the ring, and then he's going to be all like crippled or something, and Asuka's going to just kick him in the face, and that's going to be it. That's it. It's not going to be a match. It's just he's going to get kicked in the face. That's it. There's going to be no intergender match. It's not happening.
You're probably right.
I'm gonna call something, and I'm gonna call something with consequence. Next week, and I'm hoping it's not gonna go down. Please, WWE, don't be stupid. But I'm gonna make a vow. If this actually happens exactly like this, I am actually going to not appear on the show next week. This is how serious I am. High stakes. I'm calling it right now. Here's the thing, and you guys are gonna cringe, but WWE, they're stupid. This couldn't. Okay, so if next week during this intergender match, if Carmella, and it has to happen exactly the way I say, if Carmella gets involved and Asuka actually gets pinned by James Ellsworth and he beats Asuka, I am boycotting this podcast next week. I will not appear to see James Ellsworth pin Asuka. She's already losing all the time. I am not going to... You heard it here first, guys. I'm not going to be appearing on next week's show.
Brian,
if James Ellsworth...
your segment of the show is in jeopardy if this happens. Just saying, I might cut it out of the show. If that happens to what Michael Chow just said, and Asuka gets pinned by James Ellsworth, we're not talking about the fucking main roster anymore. I'm so done. If that happens next week, mark my words, Brian will make you have your own show on the podcast.
You know what? Just to throw it out there, disqualification's okay. If James Ellsworth wants to get a DQ win, that's fine. But to see James Ellsworth get a pin over a woman who was so good, they had to force her out of NXT because no one could beat her. And one of the greatest streaks that surpassed Goldberg, she gets pinned by James Ellsworth. What am I watching?
Now, what about the fact that this is WWE's thinking? Okay, you're gonna have the match. Asuka's gonna dominate. No.
They're not having the match.
Asuka's gonna dominate, right? Blah 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 blah. Carmella with the run-in, with the distraction spot. Somehow Ellsworth gets the roll-up pin.
No.
WWE's mindset is this is going to be mega heat on Carmella and Ellsworth. I'm telling you right now.
At the expense of Asuka, who went the longest undefeated streak ever? No.
But
absolutely not. I can't go with that.
It's proven what Vince thinks of Asuka.
But I don't want to see it. I know what he thinks of Asuka. I just don't want to see it.
So he doesn't think anything of Asuka. he apparently likes Carmella. He re-signed Ellsworth. Why not? I see it. It's gonna be an Ellsworth roll up on Asuka. Thinks they're gonna get heat. Well, they are gonna get heat, but the wrong kind of heat on Carmella and Ellsworth. I'm calling it right now. You guys are gonna hate me.
We go from
you guys
bad.
are
We go from
you guys are
bad
gonna
to
ban me from the
worse.
show.
We go from bad to worse, and we get what we got in the end of SmackDown. And are you kidding me? We have gotten the reformation of Team Hell No.
Hell no.
Crickets.
Hell no is the perfect word for this
Are you
main
kidding
event.
me? They really did they? I can't even speak. They
are you
brought
telling me
back
that
Kane? I'm done.
Are you telling me that former SmackDown Live, former Raw superstar is now back on SmackDown Live
You're telling
is-
me that
with no
Daniel
explanation
Bryan
whatsoever
and
he
Ty
switched brands?
Dillinger, Daniel Bryan couldn't be in a better team than. I'm done. I can't. Brian, you talk about it. I'm done.
WWE's hottest free agent, Kane.
You're not to say that.
And it's funny. I know you didn't see it, Kyle, but Michael, when Kane's music initially hit, people didn't even get it. They were like, "What?" And then someone had to start a Team How No chant, and then the people were like, "Oh, Team How No!" Like they completely forgot who these guys were together, and like everyone's like, "Why is
Let me
Kane
just
out
say.
here?"
Let me just say one thing. Everyone, all the critics out there saying, "Oh, well, the crowd popped for it." Yeah, they popped for the nostalgia factor because that was a nostalgia-loving bunch of asshole crowd. Those are the people that are ruining it for us right now.
But they popped late. Like it was kind of weird. I don't know if you noticed, Michael. Like Kane's music hit, and I immediately in my mind I was like, "Oh, Team How No," but it seemed like the fans didn't really get it. They were just like, "Okay, Kane, that's cool. Like big guy helping little guy." Okay, and then a Team How No chant started, and then that's when the whole everyone was in. Can you guys hear me? Everyone all of a sudden.
I can hear you.
I
Yeah,
couldn't get
everyone-
behind it.
Hello?
Fireworks going off? You got the pyro. You got WWE's pyro going off in the background there.
Sorry, I think Kane's on his way out here. Fuck, it's Kane. It's gotta be
Kane.
Oh man.
WWE is definitely after us today.
Well, kind of what you're talking about, Brian, is I think the reason why it was delayed response is because I think fans were shocked, and not in a good way. They're like, is this seriously happening? Are we actually seeing this? By the way, I just want to say, since Daniel Bryan has returned from retirement, we never thought he'd be back. This was his pay-per-view. Teaming with Shane McMahon, big cast, and what could be another tag team match. Why is he not involved in these big matches, the WWE title, or even the US title? I don't understand. You finally get a guy back that fans love, and you're not even utilizing him. You might as well just stay retired and be the GM. I would have settled, honestly, with total Bellas. I would have settled for John Cena coming back and helping Daniel Bryan. I would have settled with The Miz to set up this feud. But Kane...
Why do I get this funny feeling that WWE is going to do exactly? They're going to copy brand for brand. As in, Kurt Angle's advisor is Constable Corbin. Paige's advisor is going to be Corporate Kane. I can tell you that right now. It's going to happen. Mark my words. That is going to happen because they love copying each other because they have no creative minds whatsoever.
Well, if they were smart, it would be Xavier Woods, but
oh my god.
Just to touch on this, like two things here. Number one, earlier in the show, Bryan was warming up with Gallows and Anderson for the match. Why the fuck just not have Gallows and Anderson go for the tag team titles? Why?
Because that would be too easy for them. They always got to make a difficult decision.
Wait, didn't they just do that though?
Yeah, but I mean, it's better than Kane. Anything is better than Kane at this.
I would put Daniel Bryan and Ty Dillinger, the yes and the 10 together. That makes more sense to me. The 10 and the yes, like they were tweeting about it.
And as of last week, the rumor was Bryan versus The Miz at SummerSlam, we're potentially looking at Bryan and Kane defending the tag titles at SummerSlam.
See, this is why
we went from Bryan and The Miz to Bryan and Kane versus the Bludgeon Brothers. The Bludgeon Brothers. Give me back New Day versus Usos times 50, please. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, I'm just gonna put this out there right now. We've talked too much about the main roster. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're done. Main roster is in the back window. And it's that part of the show we talk about NXT, and that's right. The NXT chants are going loud right now. Let's talk about the A show in the WWE. For Christ's sakes, outbeat both shows. 1 hour of NXT this week outbeat both Raw and SmackDown put together. It was so good this week. I'm not even just talking about new storylines being made, but even the main event was probably the sickest. And I'm not a fan of when the main roster does 6-man tag team matches, but this 6-man tag team match was like way over the top this week. It was amazing. So we opened Raw. We opened NXT. Before I even get into NXT, I have to know if you agree with me, Michael. Like, do you think NXT was actually that good this week? Because I actually thought it was excellent from start to finish.
Well, I only have one question. Did Kane appear in the main event?
No.
Well, then no, it wasn't a good show. I'm sorry.
Did you guys have the cast of Glow? Because SmackDown hadn't Glow.
Yeah, you know what am I talking about? NXT gets a 0 for not having the cast of Glow this week for sure.
No, but I'll be serious. This week was actually really good. I like what they were doing, and if I'm correct, they don't have another pay-per-view until NXT Brooklyn, was that 4?
Exactly.
Okay, so they got a lot of time to set up storylines, and they're doing a pretty good job. I don't want to spoil too much, but I do want to point out during our fan appreciation questions that Candice actually brought up what will be the opening segment. She brought it up, and you and Brian kind of said that this feud was probably not going to happen. So big props to Candice. She called it. She asked the question.
I do want to say, though, I think it's still going to happen. I think I think Johnny Gargano and Ciampa is still going to happen at TakeOver. I think this title match is going to happen between now and TakeOver, between Ciampa and Aleister Black, and Gargano is going to get involved, costing Ciampa the match, and that's going to lead to their final payoff. And excuse me one sec. I was about to sneeze. Nope, it's gone. But as far as reports are, apparently Triple H does see this as a third chapter feud. So, and they're already talking to either the final chaptered feud match to either be a steel cage, which sucks. I was really hoping a Hell in a Cell, or a 3 stages of Hell match, which, Michael, I think you kind of predicted that as well. Mm-hmm. So Triple H is actually leaning towards that as well. So this ain't over. So I know they started this week, and that's what happened with NXT. They opened up with Tommaso Ciampa and Aleister Black. Cut a really good promo on each other. It got you really hyped for that feud. But I think that's going to happen in a couple of weeks. It's going to happen a couple weeks before. Sometime I'm going to guess near the end of July. And we're going to get that title match between Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa. Gargano's going to get involved. Ciampa's going to get pissed off, and they're going to set up their feud from there into NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. So I really love the opening of NXT this week, Michael. It was really well done. Both guys cut a really good promo on each other.
Totally agree. And for me, I would have to say I answered Candice's question from our fan appreciation that's saying that there probably might be just kind of dropping the seeds. I think it might actually go down for NXT TakeOver Los Angeles. So they could just be planting seeds that Tommaso Ciampa is kind of interested. I'm calling it right now, and I kind of feel bad that Aleister Black has never main evented a TakeOver since he's been champion. So if by chance, if Aleister Black main events the next TakeOver, then I'm calling it right now that Tommaso Ciampa is kind of probably going to get involved in that title match if that is the main event. I can imagine Aleister Black winning and then kind of maybe Tommaso Ciampa attacking him after the match, kind of to set things up.
Okay. Or Johnny Gargano, you mean, right?
No, Tommaso Ciampa. So imagine that. So for once, Aleister Black main events. So that means that Tommaso Ciampa.
So who's he facing?
I don't know. So let's just say some rando. So in a way, I'm not saying that Ciampa's going to cost them the match because they obviously want to have Aleister Black versus Tommaso Ciampa. I'm just saying that if that Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are going to be in a match that's not the main event, and then I'm assuming that Tommaso Ciampa might win, and then Aleister Black is going to have his match against whoever, and once he beats that whoever, Tommaso Ciampa attacks him, and they end the show with Tommaso Ciampa standing over the champion, and that starts.
Okay. So I did see a something about. Oh yeah, I already mentioned that 3 Stages of Hell. That's right. Anyways, besides that, on NXT this week, we got a couple of other really short video clips of other feuds that are going on right now, and I love that they didn't have to spend too much time on it because they know they only have an hour show, and I love what they do with that. So we had the Heavy Machinery cutting a promo over a barbecue outside on the Mighty. I guess they're not called TM61 anymore. I think they're called the Mighty. I think that's their new team name.
Is that what TM stood for?
Yeah, the Mighty.
61?
Yeah, so now they're heel. Now they just called the Mighty their heel way. Anyways,
that's a weird name. I don't think I'd like
right?
that. The Mighty. Yikes.
And then Vanessa Bourne cut a outside news reporter promo on Kairi Sane. So it looks like Kairi Sane is going to be feuding with Vanessa Bourne going forward. We also had a real finest middle of the show with the Kona Reeves, the finest. I love this guy, man. He's so hated by the crowd, and he's doing such a good job.
Please tell me you're joking.
He's doing such a good job embracing the heat, though, and I don't okay. His skilling in the ring could be a little bit better, but I love his character, man. It's hilarious.
Hate it. He's like The Rock and Johnny Nitro, not John Morrison, but Johnny Nitro's love child.
But he's
like,
he's the finest.
Okay,
he wears the finest things.
Look, honestly, the only pro I liked about it is the fact I think he got new entrance music, right?
And he faced enhancement talent Max Alberto this week, who got a chant from the
Max
NXT
Alberto
crowd.
Del Rio. They were even chanting for the jobber during this match.
Yeah, they were saying his actual name. Oh, that was awesome. But coming out on top, another showcase by the finest, Kona Reeves. So I don't know where this is going. I got a feeling this is gonna lead to Velveteen Dream. I still think this is where it's going. This is where they're going with this.
Heel versus heel. I don't know. Let's see.
We had Candice Wrestling in action. She faced off against Lacey Evans, who's got new entrance music as well. More heelish, I guess. They cut out all the words out of her entrance music. I thought this was a decent match and a good showing by Candice LeRae with that sick moonsault that she did. That was really well done, and her picking up the victory there. I don't know what this is going to lead with Candice LeRae. I don't know if they're going to be leading to a Shayna Baszler storyline. We didn't really see her this week on NXT, so I don't know where the whole Candice LeRae thing is going to. We'll have to see what happens with that. After that, we got our main event of... this was actually pretty cool. So it was supposed to be Mustache Mountain. They won the titles at the WWE the UK event, and they were in action. They were supposed to face these like enhancement talents who come out to the stage but get literally blindside attacked from behind by the Undisputed Era, which is really cool. And they come down and cut a promo on Mustache Mountain, saying that they're the next time they leave on the flight back to the UK, they'll be leaving without the NXT tag team titles. And so they surround the ring, and basically Adam Cole is saying, like, this is our era, and you're just living in it. I love Adam Cole's work, man. It's such a good job, him promoting the Undisputed Era. It's so good. So they're surrounding the ring, Shield style, one guy on each side. And then Ricochet's music hits, and I'm going, oh, shit. Ricochet comes in to say Mustache Mountain, and it turns into a 6-man tag team match. I know I criticize the main roster for doing it all the time, but this match was actually good. If you can do a 6-man tag team match on the main roster, but they're not even that exciting. This was exciting. This was really well done. It was so awesome. Like, there was the one point in the match there was like spot after spot after spot after spot. And everyone's just lying flat in the ground. They get a standing ovation from the crowd. It was such a good match, Michael. Like, this was so well done. And the finish made so much sense with Adam Cole winning the dirty victory with him distracting the ref as Roderick Strong gave Ricochet that apron side powerbomb kind of thing and rolling him back in, and then Adam Cole getting the 1-2-3 count. So I think they did a really good job here with this main event.
That was like a modified version of Roderick Strong's finisher, that little suplex reverse into that knee.
He used the ring steps as what he would use as his knees.
It kind of reminded me of what Kevin Owens does, the pop-up powerbomb onto the ring apron.
Right.
So that was good. I was totally not expecting that to happen. I seriously thought that that Ricochet was going to do his finisher on Adam Cole, and that was it, flat out done. But I was not expecting that ending. Man, Ricochet was so good. There was like this one cool spot where Undisputed tried to go for a tag team move, and he just did like a flip. And they both missed. It was the Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, what they do, like the double finisher there. One takes out the legs and the other one goes up top, and he literally did a backflip, dodging the entire thing which is so Ricochet is so good, man. He is an extraordinary piece of talent, and I was so excited when he signed with NXT. Now we're getting like the full what we're going to get out of Ricochet. And I'm thinking it's going to set up Ricochet and Adam Cole. I think that's what's going to happen here. I can see definitely Ricochet and Adam Cole for the North American Championship, probably by Brooklyn. So good for Ricochet, man. The guy is an unreal piece of talent, so I'm glad he's getting the shot here. But that's why the one thing I hope they do something with is a Velveteen Dream, because I wish he would get a title shot, because he definitely deserves it a little bit more than Ricochet. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. Definitely. It seems like NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. It's going to be NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. It seems like that's their version of WrestleMania, so it makes sense. I want every single title to be defended. I don't want one of these like NXT takeovers where one title kind of like sits out for the event. I want every single title to be defended. I want the North American Championship, UK Championship, if you can do it. So that'd be good.
Yeah, maybe it'll be Pete Dunne and Velveteen Dream. That'd be a sick
maybe.
Match. Yeah, I'd love that. So it's gonna be interesting the next couple of weeks in NXT, what we go from here. So, anyway, the show's running a little long, so I'm gonna cut out the news part for this week, guys, and we'll hopefully debut it next week. But thank you for tuning in. Before we get going here, just want to point out really quickly, go check out our sponsor, ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. They are an awesome wrestling website, guys. They have a bunch of wrestling merchandise, so go check them out. Official sponsor of the podcast. One lucky fan a month gets a special gift when ordering and using the promo code NOHOLDS on checkout. You save an extra 10%. Other than that, guys, if you're going to listen to us on iTunes, give us a 5-star review and leave us a review down below on the show as well. So that is going to wrap it up for episode 104 of the Lowdown Show right here in the No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, your Canadian wrestling podcast that talks about the WWE and No Holds Barred and anything we say. Pun intended. You can follow us on Twitter at NoHoldsBarredWP. Follow myself at Real Kyle Masters. Follow my co-host at Michael Chow TV and at HeelTurn21. You can also listen to us on the go, like I said, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Spreaker. You can also check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/NHBWR. I'm your host, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my two co-hosts, Hollywood Michael Chow and Heel Turn 21 Brian. Guys, we are always reminding you to keep it on the Lowdown.
I love you, Brock Lesnar.
What you gonna do?